Join the conversation in Tipperary. Contact us through Facebook, Twitter, or email tiptoday@tippfm.com.
Welcome back to Tip Today live from Nina. Delighted to say our psychotherapist Joannes Barkery is with us. Good morning to you, Joannes.
Good morning, Fran.
I think if we ever needed a psychotherapist, we need one around Christmas time. It's a different, I mean, you say you have all the ads and you have all the nonsense around it and everything's wonderful and we're all happy and it's going to be great. But for a lot of people, it isn't.
That's not true. That's not true at all. It's not all happy and it's not all great.
Yeah.
I wrote my Christmas cards last night, and it would be much easier to write down Happy Christmas to you all. And I wrote in them, may you have many happy moments over Christmas, and when you don't have happy moments, may they pass fast.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no such thing as a happy Christmas. There's no such thing as the whole experience being happy.
Yes.
There's moments that there's loss. It's a time we kind of press pause and look back to previous years, and there's always loss attached. Like, we're singing the same hymns that we sang 55 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, that repetitive practice and ritual is bringing up memories, like, from many, many years. So there's always nostalgia. And some people go, well, I had a good year, I didn't lose anyone, but I always feel lonely. Let the loneliness be there. Let the loss, let the melancholy be there. Don't go digging for it, but when it comes,
Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it,
Yeah.
be with it, and go, oh, yeah, and this will pass too.
That's very interesting because most of us would try and dismiss it and compartmentalise it in some
Oh,
ways.
yeah, and most people, when they do that, anything you suppress, grows and it takes over. Like I heard A Holy Night last week at a choir practice and I cried.
Yeah,
I've no really good reason to cry, and I just let it out.
Yeah.
It's better out than in. It's better off do it there to practice than do it somewhere else. So we have to acknowledge that there's no such thing as Happy Christmas or Happy New Year. Every year has moments of challenge, frustration, rage, pain, disconnection, fear. And they have happy moments too. So we need to kind of be broad enough to see the whole picture, because if we think the whole thing is going to be happy, we're setting up for failure straight away.
And, if you're in a situation where a lot of people are gathering together to celebrate Christmas Day, for example, and you have all of the usual characters coming together and you add a few drinks to that and you have sort of the nostalgia stuff and memories and slagging and,
Yeah, it's put drink on top of it and just get a match and set it off to light. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we revert back to being a child. You have an inner child in you and I have an inner child in me. And we revert back to that. And if our parents are alive, if whatever Mammy gives Mary or Josephine and she doesn't give it to me, then that's a whole thing of, oh, I'm not the favourite, or...
And I never was.
And I never was, and I was never good enough.
Yeah, God almighty, yeah.
And everybody's trying to dress up and look well, and then you overeat. I know when I overeat, I go into a self-sabotage place and my inner critic is ignited. And you're doing that. And I don't drink alcohol, but if you put alcohol on top of that... And it's just... And then you have the television telling you, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And not acknowledging. And then some people, it was interesting, I had a client yesterday and she said, oh, Christmas Day is a shite day. And I said, no, it isn't. Because there's moments in it that's going to be good. And you're going to see when you put out the bread for the robins and you're going to watch them and you're going to go, God, they're amazing, There are good moments in every day. And we can look for them, but that doesn't mean to say, we deflect from our pain and our loss and our fear and our disconnection. So I really recommend people get out of the house, go for walks, go to a room, put on your headphones, don't listen to anything, just put them on so people aren't...
Yeah, so something that always I find a bit strange is that we often put ourselves into situations that we don't like, often every Christmas, because we're afraid to say, look, I really don't want to do that this Christmas. I don't want to go to that house. I don't want to meet up with Auntie, whoever. We continue, though, because we feel obliged in some way at the risk of our own happiness.
Absolutely, because this whole marketing plan of Happy Christmas and don't rock the boat and fit in and blend in and forget about your own needs. So to go off and go for a walk or go down to a room and just have time out for yourself. People don't do that. People don't attend to what they need.
Yes. And should they?
Of course.
Yes.
Because you need to have the moments where you can just be with memories. My father's passed 36 years and I still remember him with his socks, and that brings up nostalgia for me. And I remember him and I think about him. I had many.
And you allow yourself to do that.
And I allow myself to do it. And I allow the emotion come up and let everything passes. The good times pass, the difficult times pass.
So preparing yourself then for it in some sort, is there a kind of, I don't know, is there some advice in terms of preparation for dealing with Christmas?
Well, I think just to avoid the kind of getting into the frantic marketing, is one way of doing it. Just
now, it's very difficult, particularly if you're a mum of young kids. It's very hard to avoid that, isn't it?
It's very hard to avoid it, but avoid it as best you can.
Yeah.
So that you're not caught up in the rat race of it.
Yeah.
Do things like, we've a beautiful tree of remembrance in Nina here above the courthouse. Like, go up there and spend a moment and just reflect. Or if you're not a church goer, go into the church when it's empty and light a candle for yourself and attend to your own kindness and to your own softening.
Yeah.
We kind of push everybody listening to this today, and you and me, we have enough, Fran. And our loved ones have enough. We don't need to keep going and going. And I think sometimes we overextend when we think we're not enough, or it compensates for relationships that maybe are bad, so we buy something really big so we get back in again and back connected.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, therefore we have to talk about money and finances and so on, because some people go to the pin of their collar to afford Christmas, and they end up then paying back for months and that kind of thing, which obviously has an impact on people's mental health.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's the marketing thing, because people are kind of trying to get this Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
And it is Happy Christmas is not true. There's happy moments in it, and there's joyful moments, and there's fun moments, and then there's moments where it's ouchy moments, where it's painful and you're remembering, and it's all of that, and no money is going to get you to avoid those.
Yes.
It's just about it's almost like letting it all be there and being kind to yourself with it. And it's not all bad. And some people are really grieving this Christmas, but there will be moments in it that'll be okay too.
I'm just thinking about the brand New Year, and I'm thinking particularly about people who might have been putting off dealing with, the difficulties they might have had over the years, particularly as children and stuff, and they might have been pushing that to. Is there something to be said for looking to the new year and saying, finally, I'm going to deal with some of this stuff that's been a burden to me for so much time?
It's my busiest time.
Is it?
Yeah, January, with new people.
People saying, I have to deal with this.
And they don't need referrals. Like, people think you need a doctor's referral to go to a psychotherapist. You don't. Yeah, people are kind of going, enough is enough. Or there's that dissatisfaction after Christmas. It hasn't worked.
Yes.
And then, of course, the sales come on and there's more spending to see will that fill the void. And sometimes people may hear this, that I'm enough, I have enough, and yet I have no joy, and start exploring that. Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to do that. And I presume all the nostalgia around Christmas as well, Joannes, you're going to be looking back, and you're going to be sort of, poking these issues as well. So maybe that's why they come to you in January as well, I
think it's also that clean slate, that this is a new year, and I don't want this time next year to be still dealing with this amount of anxiety or this amount of self-sabotage or this amount of pain, or I want to talk now, I want to be heard. And they have it's almost like there's a clean slate.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of hope.
And do you find people coming to you and saying, look, I'm here in front of you, but I'm not sure if I should be. I'm not sure if my issues are profound enough that I need to come to you with this. But obviously it's something that has been harming them for years and years. But
people always say that because, once again, it's like you talking about Christmas, you go just to keep the peace. People never think that they're deserving of help, that they're deserving of therapy, that they're deserving of self-care, that they're deserving of self-exploration, especially women. It's very sad.
Especially women.
Yeah. You see them coming in and then they go, oh, Johnny needs braces and I can't come anymore. But Johnny also needs a mother that's grounded and connected to herself, and that...
So she's depriving herself of help.
Yeah.
Because Johnny needs braces and the like.
I've heard that, and I'm just using that as an example, but that's a very common kind of one, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's interesting that particularly a mother would be willing to say, I'm going to continue on even though, my heart is off.
I'm all right as I am. And a lot of people around sexual abuse or physical abuse will say, sure, didn't I survive it, hadn't I grand?
My God.
Yeah.
But they're not grand.
They're not grand.
Right.
As long as they're keeping all that inside and silent and taking on that blame and taking on that shame, they're not grand.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually take too much in therapy sometimes to deal with this. Sometimes it does. Depends on how long they're silent about it. Yeah, but it can be worked through.
Yeah, and those of them who would say to you, Asher, look, maybe I should just leave that, and but still they're with you, so they know somewhere in their hearts that they need to deal with this, I guess.
They do, but I would be encouraging people to come weekly, because it's like you boil the kettle and the kettle is on the boil and the water is hot, and if they don't come then for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the kettle goes off the boil, so you have to start digging again. And stuff that's deeply buried is much better given a space every week for a few weeks and see where it goes. And they're not willing to do that. They might be willing to come every month, but you have to kind of almost dig again. And it's very hard. Therapy doesn't work once a month, generally.
But they have to build up a trust with you.
They have to build up a trust with me.
That would take a certain amount of time.
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that I'm a nurse and midwife really helps, because people perceive that as that I have a good overall view of the human psyche. And
just to look back over your own career, are we any better now at dealing with issues that might be haunting us? Are we any better with all we know now, I suppose, than maybe when you started in practice first, Joannes?
I think we're better now. But you see, I'm dealing with like I used to work for the HSE.
Yeah.
So I have a private practice now for couples and individuals, and I'm dealing with the people that can afford it. And usually they have hope and they know that what's happened to them, they don't deserve it. But I don't think for people, that can't afford therapy, I don't believe there's enough supports there for them. And I don't believe there's enough hope for them. And they have that feeling of, oh, I don't deserve it. Yeah. Like a medical card doesn't give you therapy. Now, there is places you can go and there's free, but then sometimes they go, oh, we'll give you 6 sessions. And 6 sessions doesn't work, because by the 6th session you're starting to trust your therapist, maybe, if you're lucky. And then it's a limited amount of therapy. So if people are trying to get therapy through their doctor, through different centres around, always ask, is it limited, and can that limitation be extended?
Well, what a pity that just because somebody can't afford it, that they have to put up with a situation, that they're unhappy or depressed or, You know, isn't that shameful? If people want to talk to you, Joannes, how can they?
086 338 3398, or go on my website, selfdiscovery.ie.
All right.
And I wish you many happy moments, friend, over the Christmas.
I'm looking forward to some of those happy moments, and happy moments to you as well. Lovely to see you.
And when
Joannes.
they're not happy, I hope you have a good outlet for yourself.
I have, it's called a glass of Merlot.
And that works for some.
All right, thanks very much indeed, Joannes. We're live from Nina today. News and information's on the way.
Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.